What is up, people? How are you doing? Hopefully, y'all can see me and hear me. I'm in an area that does not have a good connection. Uh, Mid part of Watts Bar Reservoir, which is in Tennessee, eastern Tennessee, and I changed locations from where I was yesterday. I was on Fort Loudon Lake. There was a major shad kill going on. A lot of dead shad, a lot of birds, thousands of birds. And the fishing was pretty miserable, so I had to get out of there. If any of y'all didn't see that, it's somewhere on the page here. Shad kill, I think is what I titled it. So anyway, I made a move today. I went down to Watts Bar, took a pretty good ride down the road. That's where I'm at now. You may look behind me and think that's clouds. No, I'm in a fog bank. What's up, Muddy River Catfishing? How you doing, pal? I'm in a fog of bank, a bank fog, a fog bank. That's what it is. Look around me. Now, it's very foggy. This rolled in. It's kind of been hit or miss all day, and it would come in and go. So, fog doesn't bother me, okay? I've got electronics and all that kind of stuff. I love the fog too, Muddy River Catfishing. Here's what I don't like. And Chris, you've been out here on the Tennessee River. They have these big things that float up and down through here called barges. Yeah. And they're big. It's one thing to have a boat try to run into you. It's another thing to have a barge run into you. So I'm out here in the fog. And hello, Catfish Weekly. You guys have fished on these big rivers too. As most of y'all know, big rivers are not my thing. And this is not my world. And anyway, what I was saying, I'm out here and it's really foggy. I mean, it's gotten really bad foggy to where that's the main part of the river over my shoulder. And I mean, it's zero visibility. Over this side, not too bad. You can see over that way, but it's getting worse. Now, here's the thing, okay? Like I said, I can get back. I've got my GPS. I can get out of here. Problem is if a barge is coming. And I had a barge come by. Nobody told me, none of you guys told me, none of you people that fish out here told me that a barge chugging up through here sounds very similar to a train. Just kind of a without the horn. Now, if you listen in the distance, you might hear a train whistle. I've heard trains all morning. They always had a whistle. And then I heard this one, just this. I'm going, another train. Train's getting closer. Yeah, it didn't get really close. It was back over that way. But still, my point being, none of you river people warned me that the barges keep moving when the fog rolls in. So obviously they've got radar and everything else. And you think he would have sounded a horn, done some of that stuff you'd learn in captain's class? Nah, nothing. But I cheated death. So anyway, do I have a fish on that one line going out that way? Hold on a second. Don't go nowhere. Still here, folks. Still here. Still here. Let too much line run off. Reeling some line in. I had one that ran off a bunch of line. I casted it out and forgot about it. You ever do that when you're drifting or dragging? Yeah. Show you what I'm looking at. No, first, let me do this. Says all barges are. There is an app called Find a Ship. Wait, knowledge. Now, wait. Where's that knowledge? There's an app called Find a Ship. Check it out. Shows where. See, Mike. This is how you people are. Okay, y'all tell me this after I'm out here. I'll get back and people will be messaging. Oh man, I could have told you where to catch fish at. You don't tell me before I do it. You don't tell me before I get hit by a barge. No, seriously, that's pretty cool. I will check that app out. I've never been out here in the fog before. Out here. on this big river. So that's cool. That's a cool app, though. I'm gonna check that out. Anyway, what I was back to what I was going to tell you. Please see you with the life jacket on. Yeah, I've got the PFD on. This is what I call should have it on all the time, but these are the kind of conditions where the chance of an accident gets ratcheted up with it being foggy. And yeah, I'm real good at wearing it at night. When it gets foggy like this, yeah, put it on too. So thank you for noticing, Ian. Glad you noticed that. What I was going to tell you was, many of you that tuned in yesterday know that I was fishing in the Shad kill on Fort Loudon. Horrible bite. I caught one fish. Actually got it on video on the live feed. And so I made a move down to Watts Bar today. No shad kill. Well, there's probably a shad kill, but there's nowhere near the bait that there was on Loudon. Hardly any birds down here. Is normal birds. Man, it got foggier. Is that a word? It's nice down here. But here's the train. At least I hope that's a train and not a barge sounding its horn. I don't hear a train coming yet, so anyway. That's a train. It should give one more blast and then two quick ones. You should get two quick ones now to crossing. There you go. That's a crossing blast. Too long. Is it too long, one short, and then two quick ones? I think that's what they do at a crossing. Any of you railroad knowledgeable people will know that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Came down here, got to fishing. There's nowhere near the shad kill. The fishing's good. There's fish. I've caught fish. If you go to Dieter Melhorn Fishing, my Facebook page, you'll see some of the fish I've caught. I've got two close to 40. They're in the 30s. And about 11 or 12 other fish. Night and day difference from yesterday. I think I'm up to, let's look at the clicker. I also have some hot coffee. It's 12 fish. So, night and day difference. And I had that feeling if I got away from the big shad kill and a lot of bait, I'd catch fish, and it worked out. So, I gotta show y'all, it's gotten worse. I mean, this is unnerving, to be quite honest. There. You almost get a little vertigo out here looking across that. You might be able to see the top of some trees, but it's crazy thick fog. Crazy. So anyway, back to the good news. I've caught fish. And it's been a good bite. And look what's in the water out here. Look at this. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. A lot of stuff. Some of it's fish, some of it's bait, some of it's all kinds of stuff. I've had a lot of fish today have come suspended. I've got 8 rods out. Some on planers. I've got some suspended about 10 feet off the bottom. I've actually caught quite a few fish on that. A disproportionate number compared to the other rods that I've got out. For whatever reason today, it's 11 out of 12 fish came on skipjack today. Some days I can get a mix. Usually catch some on gizzard shad. I've tried putting out the threadfin, which is what has been getting killed and eaten out here, and I've had no luck with that. So it's a very strong threadfin bite, or skipjack bite. So how much line do you let out before you hook on the planer board? Somebody, Nate 8, is asking how much line to put. Here's what I do with the planer boards. Cast it out, normal cast. Let it sink all the way to the bottom. Then clip on the planer board. I'm using these planers to drag Santee style rigs. And, sorry, I got to get back on the ledge there. And so yeah, just let them cast out, let them hit bottom, and drag them that way. I'm in deep water. I'm in about 50 feet of water. If I'm dragging the regular Santee rigs out in the spread that I've got out with 6 rods, that's 5. Somebody's paying attention. That's 5. 6 rods. I try to stagger them. The first 2 out. I try to get those out about That was creepy. I looked right there over my shoulder, and I saw that creep into the shot, and I thought it was a barge getting ready to kill me. I'm going to be having nightmares about barges running over me tonight. But I'll let the two center rods go out furthest, maybe 125 feet or so, then stagger them in at like 175. That kind of helps with, and I'm going to draw this out. I'm actually going to do a video where I draw this out and show you how that spread works and what I do with that. That's going to be something I'm working on when it gets back cold. By the way, I've been keeping track today. There is the totals for the rattle battle. The Bear drift rigs with nothing on them except for a cork, 5 fish. The Hooker's terminal tackle line rattles are at 3 fish. The Demon Dragon styles are at 0. And the rest of the fish of the 12 were caught on downlines. So 5, 8, 4 fish came on downlines. The rest of them came on the drift rigs. So yeah, a little update on that. I'm running them out here. So what's that noise? Okay, it's a car. Sorry. I need to get that app on my phone. So yeah, that's what's going on. We got a fish on right behind me. Right behind me. Fish on. Fish on. Fish on. Man said fish on. Let me get this turned this way. Oh, we're there. We're there. Fish on. Medium-sized fish, nothing huge. I had one this morning, the first big one I caught. I thought I'd snagged a log because it was like moving along with me. Or it was just kind of, there was no head shake to it. And I always tell people you can tell if it's a log, it'll have a head shake. And the only thing was it started getting closer to the boat. And finally it was straight underneath the boat and pow, it realized it was hooked. I think I got too much line out on this one. All right, we're going to play a game. This is always bad luck. Guess the weight before it gets to the boat. And we always play guess the weight once it's in the boat, but guess the weight before it gets to the boat. I'm going to say 12 pounds. It's on top of the water. It's on top of the water. Cowboy. Boga, baby. He's going back down. It's not 12. I'm just feeling its head shake. He's wrapped. I feel him. We may lose this one. 8 pounds. I'm saying 8 now. All right, I was wrong. I'll tell you that. Bigger than I thought. All right. I don't think anybody seen me pull it in the boat. Ouch, don't bite. Bam. Guess what? Another one on a rig without a rattle. Oh, wow. I was way off. I was way off. All right. Guess the weight. Let me get his tail straight. Yes, the weight. Okay. One more time. Boom. Yep. Last looks. Released alive, baby. We got all our guesses in? Alright, I can't see all of them in the feed, but somebody just threw up the right number. Make sure they're all in. We'll account for the delay. Drum roll. Y'all tell me who won. Y'all can scroll back through it. I can't see it here. 16 pounds. 16 pounds. Hey, come on. Are we still there? Okay, somebody tried to call. Hang on. Let me punch in a waypoint. I always mark fish that are teener or bigger. Boom. Enter. Okay. Alright, Sapper won. Okay, very cool. Yeah, 16 pounds, a little bit over 16. So, I thought it was, thought it was going to be smaller than that. At first I did, but anyway. Let me put out another piece of bait. Bear with me. This is timing out good. I'm about out of skipjack. I'm down to my... But I'll be honest with you, these fish could care less that this stuff was frozen. Yummy. Yummy, mommy. The cool thing I like about fishing... Where's my ugly rag at? Hang on. Falling apart here. Okay. Anyway, the thing I like about fishing deep water is... You're going to have to get the lines out as far. So, that is number 13. How many have you put in the boat today? Somebody just asked. Andy, perfect timing. It was number 13. Now, Andy, if you were a part of the freak show yesterday, you'll know that I caught one fish. And that was because, and I'll bring everybody up to date that is new to the party. Yesterday I was fishing the Shad kill in Fort Loudon, and it was pretty bad. Only caught one fish. Big shad kill, a lot of shad, several thousand birds, and I'm not kidding. You'll see the video. If you tuned in yesterday, I tried to get you some shots of it. Several thousand birds feeding, and it was just, I mean, the fish are gorged. So yeah, I made a move to Watts Bar today, and it's night and day different. That's 13 fish today. So, I mean, it's crazy. I'll show y'all exactly where I'm fishing at if you want to come find this place. There's that, and then there's this over here, that landmark there, and there's that. I mean, it's right off of that point right over there, you can see. And this is the place to be right here. For those of you that came in late, I'm surrounded by fog. I'll flip around the bow of the boat. It's pretty bad. So, pretty bad. If anybody wants to mark my secret spot, this is it. I'll show you real quick what I got set up here on the rods. That rod right there, and this is the same on both sides, straight down. I've got it about 40 feet, about 10 feet off the bottom. That one right there is going straight out the back. The line's still going out. Hang on. Yeah, that one is going straight out the back, and it may actually have a fish on it. We'll get back to that in a second. That one right there is up at an angle as it goes out to that planer board. And then this one here sticks out the side and goes back. That one is loaded. That's a fish. That's a fish. It's not a big one. But yeah, that's why I like these monster rod holders, is because I can put these things, like this one goes in here and it's straight out and straight down. This one goes out, extends out that way. This one is ramped up high to clear that line coming down right through there. And then this one goes straight out the back. So It's kind of set up. Again, same thing on this side of the boat. I've got holders here and here, but as you can see, I've got a boat that's about 8 foot wide, so I got about 8 foot between there. The rods are 7/6, so there's about another 7 foot out. And then I've got the planers out there and there. Give me a nice spread. I don't know, probably 40, 45 feet, depending on how I've got it set. So, yeah, it's kind of the way the freak show runs here. Everybody asks about the setup, and I know I covered in some videos, but if you don't watch all the video, you don't see it. And let's face it, we don't watch all of everybody's videos. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It's okay. You don't have to apologize. I'm going to see if there's a fish on this rod, so bear with me. See if it's on there. It sure swam a long way. I got one getting ready to go down right here. Thought I had one of the down rods getting ready to go. This doesn't feel like there's a fish still on it. Right. This is a Mongo jumbo bait here. That is what one of the big near 40 fish came on. Let that sink to the bottom. Anyway. Hey, James Smith, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the Freak Show. Let me get that one on the bottom. Hang on. Alright, for any of y'all late to the game, I'm on Watts Bar. For anybody new, the reason I repeat this, there's people in and out of this feed the whole time, so that's why I kind of repeat some of this crap. I'm on Watts Bar. I'm bumping the channel edges here. I'll show you on the sonar screen what I'm doing and where I'm catching these fish at. Let's get everybody want to get a class, Dieter's fish class. Dieter's class on fishing a lake he really knows nothing about. I'll show you what I'm doing. All you guys that know this area can call me stupid or whatever. But anyway, you can see what I've been doing. I've been basically dragging right down the edge of this channel edge. I tried up here on this stuff earlier. There's no fish. Everything is right there on that ledge. And kind of toward the bottom of it. So that's kind of the technique. Picking off fish the whole way. Got a couple of good ones in the mix. And show you what the whole... By the way, these lines right here. Now that's a fish near one of those down lines. But these two lines here are actually my lines underneath the boat that are going straight down. So just a little tutorial there on what you're seeing. So you can... sorry about the bad connection. I'm getting some bad connection lights here. I'm in an area that is not really inhabited by many people. I hear a noise again. I think that's a train. Yeah. Yeah, it's a train. But anyway, yeah, that's what's been going on. It's been a good bite. I got away from the shad kill with all the birds. And consequently, I put a lot of fish in the boat today. 13 so far. So I'm calling it a good day. I think actually what my plan's going to be here in just a little bit. It's about 3:30 now. It's about 2 hours before dark. I think what I'm going to do is make my way back into the cove where I put the boat in. And I may anchor up back in there. I actually caught a good fish in there this morning. So I may give that a shot and see. So any of y'all that came in late, I'm on Watts Bar. A good day of fishing. I've just been dragging. I have not anchored up any. There's a shad kill here, but there's not the bait. Now I'm actually rolling onto some bait now that's laid on the bottom and got fish in my lines all above it. That's what it was looking like yesterday. You can see how that bait is about the bottom 8 feet. It was doing that really bad yesterday on Loudon. And there was just miles of that. I mean, it was crazy. So, but that's kind of what's been going on. So it's been a fun trip. I had planned to stay until Monday. I'm not going to do that though. They're calling for a violent line of storms to come through tomorrow night. My son has a gymnastics competition tomorrow. We're going to that. There's supposed to be a strong line of storms that's going to come through, followed by some rain, and then when the temperatures drop that night, it's going to turn into snow. By the way, if you guys are trying to put a question up or anything right now, I can't get them whenever I've got a bad connection, so I apologize for that. I'm going to give it another minute here and see if it gets back good a second here. It seems like every time I move the phone, it kind of goes bad. But yeah, I'm going to get out of town and head back across the mountain and get into back into the Carolinas, and make sure I knocked everything into gear. Get back into the Carolinas and do some fishing out there. I figure if I'm going to be cold and wet and miserable, oh, I've got a fish right underneath one of these down rods. He's right slap underneath it. Oh, he is right underneath one of them. I forget which one's at 30 and which one's at 40. Yes, Panfish says snow. That is correct. That's the reason we're leaving. Cold weather I can deal with, rain I can deal with, but I didn't want to get stuck on this side of the mountains with it being snow and slick. And this is going to be cold Saturday night, so anything that falls, it could turn into a sloppy, slippery mess. So I'll just head home, keep my powder dry, and come back out here. I love fishing out here. Any of you guys that are from Tennessee, you're living in a wonderland. It's beautiful out here. I mean, I really love coming out here to fish, and I'll be out here some more this year. Maybe in a few weeks, we'll see. I know we're running out of time. Catfish conference. I don't know how many of you are going to the Catfish conference this year. I plan to be there. That's the third week of February, I believe. And oh, there's a fish right underneath that line. Which one of them would dip into the water? But yeah, I'm gonna be out there hanging out. If any of y'all are out there, hopefully I get to meet you. 9 degrees below in South Dakota. 9 degrees below in South Dakota. Wind's blowing 35. I'm enjoying watching you fish. I'm trying to talk with my Canadian sing-songy, but it's always too much. Dude, I feel for you guys up there. I know Luke from Northwoods Angling, they're up in Minnesota, and you folks that can't get on the water, you know, it's tough. I mean, we got a little bit of, we got a little bit of what you guys get all the time. We had some cold weather here, a prolonged period of cold weather, and that's what led to our shad kill, was those temperatures dropping as low as they did for as long as they did. And it's not fun. I feel for you guys. I don't mind being pushed off the water for a couple of days because the weather's bad, but being pushed off the water the entire winter because the weather's bad would not be fun. So, hey, if you can live vicariously through me out here messing around in it, that's awesome. That's part of why I do the channel. And, yeah, hopefully some folks can learn a little bit, fish vicariously, and have fun. I was hoping I'd get one more. I got one on the live feed yesterday, and I got one today. It was a teener yesterday and a teener today, so this is pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. If you like it, smash a thumbs up. That's what my son always tells me. Tell him to hit a thumbs up. Oh, I got to click off that one on my hand. The official, that was I got a rod maybe ready to go. That was a bear one. There we go. There's the official count. Got a rod bopping a little bit. That's hanging on something. Let's see where I'm at here. Staying off that, I need to go a little bit closer to the channel edge. I think that's a fish. I think that's a very small fish on that rod. I'm starting to get wet. Got rain falling on me. Where was I? There we go. That may be a small fish. If you guys tuned in late, I know some numbers just started popping on up here. Water here where I'm at is almost 44 degrees, 43.8. It's very foggy. I'm on Watts Bar, which is on the Tennessee River. It is between Chickamauga and Fort Loudon. Long, long, long reservoir. Long, windy, twisty reservoir. And there's good fish in it. All kinds of stuff in here. Tennessee is a wonderland for fishermen. There's big catfish, flatheads and blues and channels, stripers, huge stripers in here. World-class fishery for stripers. Paddlefish, those freaks of nature. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Drum. I caught a big drum out here last year, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, it's a wonderland. Fairly remote in parts. It's lonely out here, which is cool. Especially in the wintertime, there's not a lot of people out here. And Panfish was just saying that how big a flathead? State record flathead was caught here. I'd like to get back out here in the spring when the flathead bite cranks up and gets going good. But yeah, it's a great fishery. I mean, it's just really awesome out here. There's a lot of lakes right near here, so it's cool. I like being out here. It's a wonderland. It's beautiful. It's scenic, and the only time I wanted to pull my hair out, I was out here last summer, and some of y'all may have seen the video. I can't think of when we were here. Was it Father's Day weekend or something? Anyway, it was me and my son, and we were on Loudon, and somebody told me there's a lot of boat traffic on Loudon, recreational boat traffic, and it was miserable then. But like today, I've seen one or two other boats outside of the barge, which I don't want to see a barge again. Let me check this rod. I think there may be a fish on there. I'm going to put my hood back on my head because it's starting to rain. Yeah, for y'all that missed it earlier, I'm very upset with all my big river fishing friends that didn't tell me that barges don't stop when it gets foggy. So anyway, let me see if I can get this fish. I think it's a fish. It is a fish. Guess the weight. All right, we're playing guess the weight before we see it. We're playing guess the weight. I'm saying 3 pounds. Starting to rain pretty good now. How much line did I put out? Wasn't even close. I'm not even going to weigh this one. Pretty little channel cat. That's a sub-pound fish. Bam. Big old skipjack chucklet. Oh, by the way, no rattle. All right, sorry about that. I didn't even weigh that fish. That's the smallest I've ever seen you catch on video. That was a little one. That was a little bitty feller. I didn't even weigh that one. Whoever guessed 1 pound wins, because that's about, that thing was probably 14, 15 ounces. It's funny, I've measured so many of those things for the biologist in North Carolina, where I keep records of those fish, and that fish was probably 14, 15, 16 ounces. So yeah, anyway. Catman is asking, what part of the river am I on? I am trying to, I don't know this place real good. I'm on Watts Bar, and I'm near Blue Springs. That's where I put in at, and I'm out on the main lake. I am dragging, Brent, you're asking, I'm dragging 6 rods. 2 of the rods are suspended about 10 feet off the bottom, which I've caught a few fish on. By the way, let's hit the clicker. You ready? Any of y'all that tuned in, any of y'all that watched yesterday, you know I only caught 1 fish. It was miserable. Today, that's number 14. Came to another lake, came to Watts Bar, down here away from everything. By the way, that's number 7. That was not on as far as the rigs go. Are you near the clinch? No, I'm not near the clinch. I think is it Thief something island? I think that's where I'm at. I'm not sure where Blue Springs is, and I live here. Let me try to tell you. It's how about I show you? I'll just show you on the I'll show you on the sonar where I'm at on the map. How many fishermen? Seriously, how many fishermen will actually go on a sonar unit or a mapping unit and show you? I'm getting into a bunch of shad now. Alright, I'll show you exactly where I'm at. I'm drifting right there. You'll probably recognize whatever that is. It looks like a great place to fish. Meigs County, Ray County. I want to say that's Thief something island that I'm near. Anyway, let's see if it's got around, I don't know. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Y'all should know where that's at if you're from here. I'll zoom out real far on the lake. That's where I'm at. Fishing that area. Some fishing here. Getting into a crap pile of bait right now. Let me get this back over to there. I'm trying to stay on this channel edge. I've been plucking fish all off of it all day. Starting to get a bunch of bait there on the bottom. So that's where I'm at. It is what it is. It's fun fishing. It's been a fun day. I've caught a lot of fish. I've caught 2 big fish, and they're on Dieter Melhorn Fishing, by the way. If you go to Dieter Melhorn Fishing Facebook page, I've got pictures of both of those fish up there that I caught earlier today. So yeah, it's definitely made up for yesterday in a big way. Oh, finally, I can see a little way. Some of the fog's starting to burn off. But yeah, it's been interesting. So hopefully, I gave you a little bit of information. Hopefully you learned something from this. I guess the biggest takeaway is, one, I don't know anything about fishing this reservoir or this river system out here, but the takeaway for you would be that I'm basically applying the same principles and practices that I use at home out here. And today it was start shallow, work deep, and then once I got out here to deep water, I just basically started looking for bait and kind of look where some birds were. They're normal size flocks of birds out here, which tells me there's some bait around. Found a bait, started finding some arches, started fishing those areas. So it's, oh, I thought it was a fish. So yeah, it's kind of the same practices I use at home. Difference being, we got a lot deeper water here. I mean, I'm in 56 feet of water. Generally, you have to get to the extreme lower ends of Wiley and Watery to get into that. We got that deep water on Norman, but this is kind of normal standard water depth here, which is nice when the water's this cold because it's giving these fish a place to go, and that's really cool. That's really nice. It's nice to have the water that deep in fishing, and so consequently I'm fishing a little different. I'm still dragging stuff. I'm also putting some suspended baits down. Quite honestly, if I was here another day, I would probably put down 2 more suspended rods and stagger it, because I've actually caught a lot of fish, and I'm seeing a lot of fish in that 40, 50 foot range, about 10 feet off the bottom. I'm actually dropping into a deep cut right here next to the channel, and there's starting to be some funky stuff show up. So yeah, I may play around with that a little bit. But yeah, it's basically the same practices as I use at home. It's a totally different fishery though, the way it works. How many acres is that lake? Catfish Addict is asking. I have no idea, but it's huge. You guys, panfish, y'all may know how many acres this lake is. I have no idea. It's huge. I mean, it's not really super wide, but it is extremely long from dam to dam, from the Loudon Dam to the Watts-Bar Dam. I would say it's probably 50 miles long. I mean, I'm guessing 40. I mean, it seems like it's, and what I mean by that is the way it winds snakes. It's very riverine and serpentine, and you can tell it's in the mountains the way it winds down. Like I said, it's super wide. I mean, our lakes at home are this wide, but it's extremely long. So, yeah, some of you guys are out here know how many acres it is. It's big. It's not the biggest one. I think Chickamauga's, the one south of here, is bigger than this